In this example, we're going to look at two different methods in order to isolate the variable a in this equation. So in this first example, to get a alone, the very first thing I'm going to do, since I notice it's in parentheses, is look at the number outside of the parentheses, which is a 3. Because the 3 is being multiplied by both terms in the parentheses, the opposite of multiplying would be dividing both sides by 3. So on the left-hand side, I'm left with 6b divided by 3, which is 2b, and that's equal to, the 3 is gone now. I don't need parentheses anymore because there's no number outside of the parentheses, so I'm just going to write the square root of a plus 4. My next step in order to isolate the a would be to subtract 4 from both sides. So on the left-hand side, 2b minus 4, I can't combine that because they're not like terms, so I just write it as 2b minus 4, and that's equal to the square root of a. One last step to isolate a, the opposite of square rooting something is raising it to the second power. So if I raise the right side to the second power, I have to raise the left side to the second power. Because it has two terms, I have to put it in parentheses when I square it. So that means a is equal to 2b minus 4 raised to the second power. An alternate way in order to isolate a, instead of dividing both sides by 3 in the first step, you could actually distribute the 3 to both terms and then start isolating the a. So if I distribute the 3 to both terms, 3 times the square root of a is 3 square root of a, and then 3 times 4 would be 12. Next, again, my goal is to get a alone, so I have to move what's not attached to that a first. So I need to subtract 12 from both sides. So now I have 6b minus 12. Those are not like terms, so I just write it as 6b minus 12, and that's equal to 3 times the square root of a. To isolate the a, the opposite of multiplying by 3 would be dividing both sides by 3. I have to put the division symbol over both terms in the numerator, the 6b and the minus 12. So now I have 6b minus 12 over 3 is equal to the square root of a. And just like the previous example, the very last step, the opposite of square rooting something, would be raising it to the second power. So if I raise the right side to the second power, I have to raise the left side to the second power. So I am squaring both the numerator and the denominator. So that gets me my final isolated equation. So a is equal to 6b minus 12 raised to the second power over 3 times 3 is 9. So if I actually multiply that numerator out, 6b minus 12 times 6b minus 12, and then divide by 9, you would get the exact same answer as multiplying 2b minus 4 times 2b minus 4. So which equation is equivalent to this one that we solved right here? That would be equation C. We got that in our second option to solve.